Hey, where's Luke?
Except for the one we want to watch.
Right.
Yeah, I saw.
Hey, Luke. Lisa. Yeah, bush is made out of like a flamingo.
Hello. 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 Hi.
Hey, Luke.
Form of ginger right there. That's the difference. I don't have that on the whole.
Where are we going? Upper deck or lower deck? Lower, lower, lower.
Lower, let's go.
Lower zoo.
Some of the bus.
Next year, still there.
No, the tiger was in. The tiger was in.
Stay on.
And one last place down the road to the right. On the map that's called Bird and Primate Mesa. I like to call it Bird and Monkey Mesa. Down that way you'll find big apes like gorillas and orangutans, and be sure to look for the smaller monkeys too. And before we go down the Tiger River, I'd like to ask Everett upstairs on the upper deck, if you can hear me, can you? These tiny pygmy hippos, they only weigh about 800 pounds. And they are nocturnal, which means they like to sleep in the daytime, but they usually like to sleep in the water. And for some reason, they're way over there on the left. They usually do that to me. If you get a chance, come back later. Look for the hippos. Next door to the hippos, we have a big bird pond here at the zoo. It's actually where many tapirs come from in Southeast Asia. And what's a tapir? Well, we do know that tapirs are very distant relatives to the horse, the zebra, and the rhinoceros. We also know that from fossilized bones that we find, tapirs are a very ancient type of animal. They could be around for about 50 million years, about the same time as the elephant. Been a long time, considerably longer than humans. If you get a chance to come back later, look at the tail non-flying bird just behind the ostrich. But these birds, they have some rather peculiar habits. Peculiar, that is. The female, she lays the eggs, but that's all she does. She's finished. The male takes over from there. He will lay in the eggs, he'll hatch the young, and he'll raise the young. If you like that so far, ladies, get this one. In the meantime, the female leaves and she looks for somebody else. Yeah, we're in charge here, don't we? My least favorite bird here at the zoo is called the emu. How about that? It's called the capi. The capi is a very close relative of the guinea pig from the South American grasslands. It's actually a large rodent. Also, a big black and white bird. Really beautiful bird. Look at this guy. That's called the Maguari stork, also from Central Africa and the rainforest. We are coming back this way a little bit later in the tour. I haven't had the chance to find the bongo, the mysterious mountain antelope. Bill stork. Their bill does look like a shoe, doesn't it? Looks like a shoe to me. Seven sea lions are found off the coast of South America, down in up the west coast of South America. And the seven sea lions, they are one of the largest of all the sea lion species, weighing about 1,200 pounds and fully grown. But these sea lions, they're the only mammal I know of that voluntarily eats anchovies. Yeah, that was dead in North Africa. But of course, he is sleeping. Well, let's find out what that sound is. Hold on. Twice here. These are called the sandbangs. As I was saying, sandbangs are the smallest of all the apes that found in parts of Southeast Asia. Also a very close relative to the gibbon. And if you listen closely when they stop this, you might hear the gibbons up on Bird and Monkey Mesa. The sandbangs and the gibbons do communicate. One of the most loudest animals here at the zoo. They are the loudest animals here at the zoo. Once again, they're called the sandbang. And you might have seen a leopard really quickly. It's almost impossible to do a tour like this. Once again, on the right, North Chinese leopard found in the mountains of China. Let's keep on going. I'll try to find a jaguar next. Hold on. Take his ambush or the sneak attack. If you get a chance, do come back later. French gray cat with black spots. They are found in the Himalayan mountains of Tibet and Nepal. Once again, the very top right, you see him up there? Beautiful cat. I hate to mention this, but these cats are endangered. Humans send them for the coat. And here's that word lot these days, $1,000 per coat. If you get a chance, do come back later. Visit the snow leopard. And back on the left, it looks like a big red pig just disappeared. If you get a chance... If we compare these wolves to North American wolves are much bigger. In comparison, these Chinese wolves are a bit more slender, and they do resemble coyotes more than wolves, but take my word for it, they're all wolves. And back on the left, well darn, also found in Washington State, the Rocky Mountain goat. Next to the Rocky Mountain goat, you might find the Alpine Shan Canada. Looks like we have 2 females and a ewe. Well, the ewes are females, 2 ewes, and 1 baby. Do you see the male? Look at the very top right-hand side. You might see the male back there. He has his huge ram's horns. That's what's called the ram. Don't worry if you don't see him. I'll pass by very slowly. I'll catch a glimpse of them. Once again, it's called the doll sheep. Whoops, here we go. Move ahead and pick them up for lunch. If they do see hawk or an eagle, he'll give his old friends a warning bark, and they all scurry underground as best they can. These meerkats are also domesticated in South Africa, and even make for good house pets. The meerkat. That big gray hairy rock is called the warthog, and we're probably looking at the most attractive half of the warthog right now. Warthog's face is not too attractive. Also, you might find a beautiful bluish-gray bird. That's called the bird of paradise, or the Stanley's crane, also found in East Africa. You might find the male ostrich first on the left. All males are jet black with white wingtips and a white tail feather. And you might find a female too. Females are gray or brown. And I'm sure you know the ostrich are the largest well-known flying bird. They just weigh too much, and the wings and feathers are just a bit too short to achieve flight. But they're...
You saw these. I would want to see it too.
You're up on top.
The Maasai and the Baringo. We just have the Maasai giraffe here at the zoo. They come from East Africa. Who should I introduce you first? Let's find the baby first. The baby's name is Diamond. Diamond is a 8-month-old Maasai giraffe. He was born at the zoo on February 1st, just about 8 months old. Let's get down there and we'll stop and take a look. Oops, where is he going? Let's stop. Mom's name is Abby. She's about 6 years of age. Well, when Abby gave birth to Diamond, like most giraffes do, they give birth standing up. This means a big giraffe has a 6-foot drop right into the ground. When this happens, the umbilical cord breaks and the big giraffe starts to breathe, and so it actually helps him out. And it's rather funny, about 3 months ago, little Diamond right there, where did he go? Here he is. Little Diamond right there, he did find his tongue. And his tongue was going all over the place. He was licking the sides of his face and trying to reach his ears. A full-grown giraffe will have a tongue about 18 inches long. That's 18 inches. It's what we call a semi-prehensile tongue. They actually pick leaves with it. They eat any different number of trees from East Africa, many species of trees. I'm going to turn off the microphone and pass by slowly. Where's church for protection against large predators like lions, hunting dogs, cheetahs, and hyenas. They do have a few enemies wild for protection also. If we get lucky, we'll find a few news in just a few moments. But another amazing thing like the zebra, just like in fingerprints, each zebra has a different set of stripes. Each set of stripes is unique. If you get a chance, do come back later and visit the plain zebra. Coronary animals here at the zoo. What I mean is the most, meanest animals here at the zoo. They're very mean. But back on the right, you might find a deer. Are they all? Yeah, that's called the Mandarin Sika deer. They come orcs with rather special orcs here at the zoo. About 30 years ago, there's only 9 of these creatures left. That's right, just 9 of them. But thanks to breed programs at the Phoenix Zoo, but all over the United States, also found in protected habitat in Saudi Arabia. If you look at this animal from a profile, what do they look like? Anyone can guess? Take your time. Look at her profile. Looks like they have one horn. Yeah, the unicorn. In fact, a lot of people think that this is where the big horse too. He's just a youngster, about 2 months of age. He's a colt or a baby boy born here at the San Diego Zoo. These horses aren't very endangered. There's only about 900 left in the whole world, only found in zoos in captivity. In fact, since there is such a limited number of these horses left, we have to put them on a computer. It's kind of like a computerized dating game. You see, what we do is put all the genealogies on the computer, and we match up the horses that are least related. We try to avoid inbreeding wherever possible, since there is a limited number of these horses left. If you get a chance, you come back later. Visit the Przewalski's wild horse. Do you miss me? Well, the Mishmi-Takins, they come from China. These are the only two inside the United States. They were a gift from a Chinese zoo just about 3 months ago, so they are very rare, very endangered. Looks like the keeper maybe back door, or is that the Mishmi-Takin doing that? Here there in this water dish. Look at that. Look at the adults. Aren't they neat looking? I think these are great. We hope to have the same success with the Mishmi-Takins as we do here with the Golden Takins. We sent the other 4 baby Golden Takins off to other zoos inside the United States in hopes to start breeding programs for them. And once again, one more thing about the Sky Fire Ride. I mentioned it's free of charge. I did say that, didn't I? You get some great views, lots of plants, grass, and dirt, in hopes that they'll settle down, feel comfortable, and hope to reproduce. This is Sunbear Forest, and you won't find the sunbears up the sidewalk on the left. But as you can tell, Castor is the big guy at the top of the enclosure. He is the biggest bear at the zoo. He stands about 10 feet tall, weighs around 1,000 pounds. And in front, that's Bonnie. Bonnie's our smaller female polar bear. It looks like Bonnie has a ball. What's she going to do with that ball, Bonnie? I'm just trying to figure it out. If you come back later, watch Bonnie swim. Polar bears are excellent swimmers. Bonnie here has an excellent backstroke. She does a backstroke very well, so you have to come back later to watch. And they do go swimming after food. They do hunt. They hunt seals, sea lions, and like to eat fish. That is the time. During the summertime, when the ice melts, many polar bears come to parts of land, especially parts of Canada, looking for stuff like berries, and sometimes they hunt reindeer. A lot of people ask me, how do polar bears like the weather down here in San Diego? Isn't it too hot for them? In a way it is, but these 2 bears were born in San Diego, and they've acclimated themselves to the weather. They have less fur and less blubber than they would out in the wild, so they do adjust pretty easily. If you get a chance to come back later, visit the polar bear. Well, let's keep on going. Next story, smallest of all the bear family. They come from parts of India and the island called Sri Lanka. They're not called sloth bears because they're slow or sleepy. They're called sloth bears because they resemble the giant brown sloth. They're very similar looking, but it's a bear, believe it or not. They have the same skeleton as a sloth, almost. It's not the same, but it's very identical. Once again, called a sloth bear. Unfortunately, the ground sloth is now extinct, but you might be familiar with the tree sloths. Well, let's keep on going. We'll try to find the sunbear in just a moment. The sunbears, they are the world's smallest bears. Dear, let's watch this one more time. What they do is they get the front enclosure very wet, because it's very slippery. It's very slippery, that is, and they slide right down. That Shenandoah husky of Africa, not Asia. What am I talking about? Alaska. I get all the A's mixed up. They're found orphaned in Alaska about 6 years ago, and they're just cubs. These bears, they're about 8 years of age, and that's when they reach maturity. So why do they get so big? Just one word, these bears like to eat fish. They like salmon. They stand in the rivers of Alaska, and as the salmon comes upstream to spawn, they catch the salmon in large, powerful jaws. Researchers, or people who watch these bears out in the wild, they say these bears can eat anywhere from 30 to 40 pounds of salmon just at one meal. That's a lot of salmon, lots of protein. If you get a chance, come back and play for a close look, called the Alaskan brown bear. Let's watch it. Once again on the left, it's called the Manchurian brown bear. Manchurian brown bears come from parts of the Soviet Union and China. And these brown bears are the same brown bears that we just saw. In fact, brown bears do have the widest range for any type of bear, found over North America, Europe, and Asia. And that's Blackie that you see back there. He's sometimes called black grizzly bears, but they're not really grizzly bears. His name is Blackie. And I don't see the female at the moment. The female's name is Queen. If you get a chance to come back later, this will be of brown bears. There's another thing I didn't mention about brown bears. All bears are omnivores, which means they'll eat just about anything. In fact, brown bears have a very wide diet. They'll eat almost anything that's edible. Looks like we have a problem at the unloading dock at the top of the hill. I'll be right back. America. The spectacle bears, they are the world's most endangered bear, I hate to say it. There's probably less than 1,000 left in the mountains of South America. They're found in the mountains of Peru, Bolivia, and Venezuela. But we do have good news here on the left-hand side of the bus. You can see Mom, Dad, and a cub. You can see the cub walking across the log, the tightrope. His name is Brito. Brito's about 11 months of age, born here at the San Diego Zoo. In fact, Mom and Dad right there, the parents, are the first 2 spectacle bears to reproduce in captivity. This is the second cub here at the zoo. We sent their first cub off to the Cincinnati Zoo. In fact, these animals are part of the Species Survival Plan. You might walk around the zoo to see these signs. It says SSP. It has a picture of a rhino and a baby rhino. It's a national program to keep these animals from becoming extinct. We try to get all zoos and concerts of the United States to keep these animals alive. Look at the little guy, isn't he sweet? You find the little guy, he's real sass. He'll come up to mom or dad and hit him right in the face. He's very brave, but very stupid. I don't know which. Miss Houdini, he got her name. What's going on, Tom? We used to feed these bears soybean biscuits, and sometimes he used to stand up for us, but we don't feed him soybean biscuits anymore. So every now and then it might stand up to say hello, to think we have soybean biscuits or something. Once again, before I leave, just like to mention Mom's name. Mom's name is Miss Houdini. She got the name about 4 years ago. She was just a cub. She escaped from this enclosure 3 times in 1 week. While we finally fixed the problem, she was no longer taking early morning tours of the zoo. Yeah, she was a bad bear. Well, I don't know what's going on. I was told to hold my position, but I don't want to hold my position any longer. I just said everything I can about the spectacle bear on the left. Well, let's keep on going. I'll try to find some elephants and rhinos. The top 2 on camel, just months old. And on the right here they are, of course. You've seen them, the bats. They're called the Indian fruit bat or the flying fox. They're found in parts of India and throughout parts of Asia. But the most amazing thing about bats, the most amazing thing in my opinion, is over 900 different types of bats. Bats are found in every continent on Earth, except, what's that continent? Except Antarctica. They're not found in Antarctica. Take a look at the elephants here. Okay, it looks like we'll get a close look at the elephants here on the left hand side of the bus. We do have 4 elephants here at the zoo, and they're all females. That's right, they're all ladies. We have 1 African elephant and 3 Asian elephants, and I'll try to introduce you to everybody here on the left. Okay, we can go now. For some reason, the problem's cleared up from the zoo. We're keeping the males at the San Diego Wild Animal Park. We have 1 African elephant and 3 Asians, and I'll try to introduce you to everybody here. Okay, first of all, on the left, we'll find Smitty right in front. Smitty's an Asian elephant. She's about 24. Just behind Smitty, here comes Tembo. Tembos are only African elephant here at the zoo. And you can't notice the difference between the Africans and the Asians. Africans, they have those much bigger ears. They also have those big white ivory tusks. And here on the left, say hello to Liz. Lizzie is the biggest elephant here at the zoo. She weighs about 10,000 pounds. That's about 5 tons. She's the biggest here at the zoo. In fact, the biggest elephant ever recorded, that was a 24,000-pound elephant. It was a male African elephant. He weighed twice as much as Lizzie here, so they can't get much bigger. And before they leave Lizzie here, I'd like to mention that trunk. That trunk is the nose and their upper lip combined. That's what I call a semi-pharyngeal organ. Just means to pick things up with it. You might see she has a piece of wood in her trunk right there. That's how you use that trunk for everything. Eating the food, drinking water. Elephants even communicate with that trunk. Very, very intelligent animals. Let's take a look back on the right. We're looking for our first rhino of the day. It's called the Sumatran rhino. They come from Sumatra in Southeast Asia. He's being cut down so quickly that we lose about 80 acres in just 1 second. And you might find another rhino also on the right. If you get a chance, do come back to Weird Elephants here at the zoo. She's about 14. She's a teenager. That tires like a security blanket. She puts it under her stomach and she walks around with it. She's just a weird elephant. Don't know why she does that. And in case you're wondering, just like us, she is a teenager. 14 for an elephant, that's just like us, being 14. Elephants have the same average lifespan as us, about 65, 70 years.
Tired.
We're going to make a big U-turn. We'll find more rhinos, and we'll get one last look at the elephants as we leave. Thank you. All right. They always do this to me. I try to be really serious, and they always do this. Okay, we finished now? I'd like to do it on purpose. Now, being serious now, the rhino on the right, they are endangered because people do hunt for the horn. Some people use the horn as an aphrodisiac or medicine in the butter form. Other people use about 3,000 rhinos left. They will become extinct out in the wild by the year 2000. That's what I can encourage everyone. Come back later, read the signs, learn why the rhinos are endangered, and see what we can do to help them. They do need a lot of help. And back on the left, there's Debbie once again. Debbie still has the tiger horse, the zebra, and the rhinoceros, called the woolly tapir. And talking about rhinos, we have one last rhino here on the right. They're also called the South African black rhinoceros. These rhinos are the same rhinos that we just saw, but these ones are just a bit younger, about 5 and 6 years of age each. And last but not least, here on the left, here's Liz once again. Liz is the biggest up here at the zoo. If you come back later at 11:45 in the morning, at 11:45, the keepers, and the keepers can tell you a whole lot more about the elephant than I can. So do come back later at those times. And if you watch them long enough, you'll find out that each elephant has a different personality. They're fun to watch. Scratch my back here. Oh, this feels good.
If she stays she's always in the water. She's not under the tires and under her. She always stays.
I'm afraid we're almost done. We have one more animal coming up, and that's called the koala. So hold on, you think the koala there? Those green leaves, that's called the eucalyptus leaf. Fortunately, both the zoo and Balboa Park, we are covered in eucalyptus. That's what we feed. Once again, my name is Duncan. I do hope you enjoyed the tour, but most of all, I hope you gained a greater appreciation of the animals I'm sharing the earth with. If you have any questions about them or about the zoo, please ask. I'll be glad to answer.
Sculpt.
Yes.
It's pretty far down.
You can hear the animal sound.
You've seen before. We have a variety of animals here, and for the most part, our animals are all native to tropical forests. Now, the reason for that focus of attention is that tropical forests throughout the world are one of the most threatened regions you will ever find. In fact, it's been estimated at a rate of 50 acres a minute. Tropical forests throughout the world are being destroyed. So it's really, really critical that we highlight some of these animals whose habitats in the wild might be the most threatened. Now, the first animal we're going to bring out for you doesn't have a threatened habitat at the moment because it's found all the way throughout the United States. But it's found all the way down to the outskirts of the tropical forests of Central America. Now, this is obviously a bird of prey. Her name is Desiree. She's a red-tailed hawk, and she's been waiting patiently in that remote release cage at the back of the stadium. Now, what I'm going to ask during this behavior is that you all remain seated for me, because when those cage doors swing open, Desiree is going to be performing a high-speed hunting dive. And occasionally, she flies a little bit low over the center section. So we need to make sure, yeah. So don't stand up, and don't hold your kids over your head either. All right, it looks like we're all set. If you'll focus your attention right behind you, this is Desiree, a red-tailed hawk. Modern technology at its finest. Waiting for those cage doors. There we go. Good girl, Desiree. All right. Yeah. Woo. Thank you, folks. Now, do you see the behavior that she's doing right now? You see how she has her wings fanned out just a little bit over my glove and she has her tail feathers fanned? This is a behavior that's called mantling. And we didn't teach Desiree to do this. Do you know why red tails will do this?
Protect their prey.
Protect their prey, exactly. In her mind, even though the food on my glove was already dead, she considers this to be a kill that she just made right here on the glove. And I see some of you staring rather intently at what she's eating, so let's talk about it. What is it she's eating off the glove today?
Mouse?
Chicken, exactly. She's getting little pieces of cut up chick there off the glove. Aha! Few sour faces. We have to have a little honesty session. How many of you like chicken McNuggets? Yeah. Turkey on Thanksgiving. Right. Well, just remember, Desiree can't head down to Vons or Safeway or McDonald's like you and I can, so it's really important she gets the same type of food item here at the zoo that she might get naturally in the wild, and red-tailed hawks do occasionally take small birds as part of their prey. Now, we're getting back to why she feels the need to mantle over the food. Red tails, when they hunt in the wild, are only successful about 17% of the time. Not really good hunting odds, but so what it translates into is when they do catch something, they don't share. What they'll do is they'll get that mantled posture and again, attempt to protect the view of their food from the other birds of prey that might be circling in the area. Now let me show you why that's critical. I want to show you how well they see. Look over here on the hillside to your left. Tacked up here on the eucalyptus tree, we have the front page of the San Diego Union. That's about 200 feet from where most of you are seated. Now the average red-tailed hawk, if it was able to read English, it could read that newspaper line for line from where you folks are seated. Yeah, most of you are still looking for the tree. It's right up there on the hillside. All right, well, Desiree's an adult red-tailed hawk. She's about 7 years old, and we hope we'll have her here at Hunt Amphitheater a good 13 more years. And that is Desiree, a red-tailed hawk. Thank you. All right. Well, I mentioned to you we're going to be highlighting animals native to the tropical forest. And to make the next animal introductions, having a warm welcome for animal trainer Ms. Christy Brewer.
Thank you, Kelly. And thank you, folks. Now, as Kelly mentioned, we're going to be talking about rainforest animals. And keeping with that theme, we're going to bring out a couple of animals that are native to the Central and South American rainforest. These animals even at one time had a range right here in San Diego County. However, due to habitat destruction, they are no longer found here. They moved over to Arizona. So is anybody here from Arizona? Nobody's here. Okay, no problem. Because what I have right here in my hand is a tape of the vocalizations that these animals make. Now what I'd like you folks to do this morning is listen to the tape and see if you can guess what kind of animals these are. That's it. That's all you get. Does anybody know what they are? Anyone at all? Sometimes called a tropical raccoon or a Mexican monkey. Here at Hunt Amphitheater, she's known as Lucy. She's a coatimundi, and that's her sister Ethel. Yeah. Now, because coatimundis are tree-dwelling animals, they have some adaptations that would help them out for life up in the trees. One is that coatimundis have very long, sickle-shaped claws. Whoa, man, that's why she didn't fall. They also have an excellent sense of balance, so we're going to try and have Ethel demonstrate that right now. Coatimundis also have the ability to rotate their hind feet 180 degrees, which enables them to climb down trees head first. However, right now we're talking about balance. Watch Ethel as she makes her way across our simulated rainforest vine here this morning at the Hunt Amphitheater. Look at that concentration. Yeah, folks, that is going to do it for Ethel. Lucy, a female coatimundi. Good job. Now, coatimundis are pretty interesting animals. They'll actually build nests up in trees just like birds, and that's where they'll keep their young till they're old enough to come down and learn how to forage on their own. Coatimundis also live in a female-dominated society, so you'll never see our males and females out here at the same time, but we hope you haven't had your fill of coatimundi, because whenever possible, we like to get the animals as close to you as we can. We're going to be bringing out their brother to meet you all right now. Focus your attention to the door on your right-hand side. This is Curly.
All right. Thank you, Christy. We'll get Curly out here on the handrail. Very nice. nice. Now, just like his sisters, you'll see him using that tail for balance. In fact, you get an even more graphic example because Curly's tail is really long and he'll swing it back and forth like a high wire act would use a balance pole. Now, if you get a good look at him right here, what do you think a Coatimundi's major sense is? Smell and nose, exactly. Well, we're going to put Curly through a couple of nasal agility tests this morning. For the first test, I need to help with someone that has some perfume with them. Not on them, but with them. Or cologne. You got some right there in the sunglasses? Would you mind bringing it right down here to the handrail? You're in a good spot. What I'd like you to do, if you would, is if you walk the other direction on the handrail, you'll see a thing that looks like a little frisbee. And I want you to put just a drop or so of your perfume right there on that round disc. Just a little tiny bit. A little squirt or a little drop. Get some out there? Okay, thanks very much. You can have a seat. Thank you very much. Now, what kind of perfume was that this morning? Did it have a name?
Opium?
Opium. Okay, that should work. Did that smell just as if that was an opium animal, okay, if you will? And normally, when Curly comes across the scent or the smell of a foreign animal, he has to reclaim his territory. Don't worry, front row, you're safe. Here, watch and see what he does when he comes across the scent of, aha, opium. Get rid of it. Yes, Curly, try again. Get a good whiff there. He goes, oh yes, here's how I get rid of it. Attaboy. Now, Coatimundis have a scent gland in their tail. So what they do when they come across a foreign scent is they'll sit down, grab their tail, start scratching the scent gland to activate it, and try to cover over the foreign scent with their own ode to Coatimundi. Yeah, good point, Curly. It's a good way to reclaim one's territory, don't you think? Yeah. Very nice. There's a moral to that behavior. Don't wear that perfume in a rainforest, or Coatimundis will do that behavior on your body, all right? Well, we're going to try putting Curly through one more test. And would you like to help me today? You're in a good spot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a little piece of Curly's food. Curly, hang on here a second. Okay, you hold that. Don't worry, it's dead. Now, Curly and I are going to come down here. This time, what I'd like you to do, if you would, is take that piece of food over to the stump. I want you to find a good spot and hide that food anywhere you want, as long as it's on the stump of wood, okay? Curly is going to find it using only his nose. He is now blindfolded so that he can't see where our volunteer is hiding the food. Now, pick a really good spot, because he's good at this. I don't want to put too much pressure on you, but it's your brain against his nose. Is that a good spot? You're sure? Okay, here we go. Yes, Curly, here's a little munchie for keeping your eyes closed. Now, folks, watch this. Curly's going to represent all the Coatimundis in the world. And using only the power of that hypersensitive Coatimundi nose, he's going to race right down there, and he's going to search till he finds the food. Are you ready? Set, go. Okay, we're on a mission. Here we go. Start the clock. Coatimundi kind against womankind. Not much of a contest, eh? How about a hand for the schnoz here, folks? Good job. All right. Well, I tell you, in finding that food, Coatimundis have the deck stacked in their favor quite a bit. Because if you think of the best or maybe even the worst thing that you've ever smelled before, as humans, we will use about 5 million scent receptors to smell what we smell. Coatimundis, in the long nose that they have 200 million scent receptors. So really, almost anywhere the food is on the stump, Curly can usually find it. Now, he is an omnivore, which means he eats almost anything that doesn't eat him first. And you've seen him getting a variety of favorite foods out here, but he's waiting for his all-time favorite. Here it comes, Curly. Yeah, hang on just a second, I'll get it. Don't get down. Attaboy. It's a cricket. Yeah. Curly loves crickets, yeah. This isn't Disneyland. We don't care about crickets, do we, Curly? Wash them down. Now, you're going to notice right about now that Curly's going to be in a rather large hurry to leave. He's a very smart little animal. He knows his part in the show is over, and he also knows that once he gets behind the door over there, he gets the rest of the food for doing nothing. So usually his balance is near perfect as we make our exit. Curly, are we ready to leave? I think we are. Here we go. Yes, say goodbye to Curly, the Coatimundi.
Now, before we bring on our next animal, we're going to talk to you a little bit about how we train the animals here at the zoo. Did everybody hear this little clicking or snapping sound with Curly out here? Does anyone know what that means to Curly? Anyone at all? What's it mean?
I don't know, I was just raising my hand.
What this means is yes to the animal. This tells the animal yes, and it tells him he's doing something correctly out here. And then we also use the word no if the animal needs to be corrected on something. Now this is very important because our next animal is not going to be on a leash. However, he should be watching Kelly at all times and sticking to her side like glue, never wavering for a moment. The reason is because the moat is no barrier for this animal, so it's very important that he pays very close attention to Kelly. And he is a member of the skunk and the weasel family. His name is Kasut, folks. He's coming out right towards the center.
All right, thank you, Christy. We'll get him right out here, and we hope he'll be sticking to my side. That's right. This is Kasut, and he's a North American river otter. Now, this is a different kind of otter than the ones you might have read about up in Alaska. Those, of course, are sea otters that spend their life in the ocean, as opposed to river otters that spend a lot of time in the fresh waterways of the Americas. Kasut, attaboy, very nice, knows his own name. Now, Christy mentioned to you that the otter is related to the skunk and to the weasel, but this is the difference between an otter and its cousin, the weasel. Watch this. Otters do this, weasels drown. As I toss these bits of food up and down the moat, you might also notice how he's making his way to the food. Otters have webbed feet, and they use those feet to sort of push themselves through the water, and they use their tail basically like a rudder. Now, he can swim about 7 miles an hour, and he can also hold his breath for a couple of minutes, so he's really well adapted for a life on land, as well as being in the water. Now, believe it or not, otters don't naturally know how to swim. Their parents teach them to swim. Now, as Christy mentioned to you, or as I mentioned to you, this little guy's been trained to pay attention to the trainer at all times, and one of the things that we ask him to do is to wait right there in the water until he's called out by name. They had to make up that little rule because we spent about the first year's worth of our training getting him out of the bushes on the hillside over here. So his main job, again, while he's out here is just to pay attention to the trainer. And let's see if we can get him all the way back in the water. Attaboy. Very nice. And now he has to wait there until he hears his own name, just like this. Kasut. Very nice. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. Good boy. Thank you, folks. Obviously a really intelligent animal. And when you're an intelligent animal in the wild, it usually means that you've got a whole lot of extra time to just kind of fool around. Otters have a favorite sport, and that sport is called tobogganing. Now, the animal behaviorists in the wild have observed otters doing a behavior where they're sliding along on their bellies. And the behaviorists will tell you that those animals are honing their hunting skills. But I think it looks like a whole lot of fun. Watch this. Otters will do this at a rapid speed. Yeah, big slide. Come on up here. Very nice. Now, what they'll do, again, is they'll find a place where they can make a run out of ice, mud, or snow, and they've been clocked at speeds of 30 miles an hour doing this behavior. Attaboy, very nice, yeah. Well, the last little thing we're going to ask this guy to do is to come right out of the water so we can take a good look at his fur. Kasut, very nice. If you look at his fur right now, you can see that it's wet, and that's normal because he just spent all that time in the water. But you might also be able to notice how where the outer fur parts, it looks like dry fur underneath. That's because it is. Otters have really densely compacted outer fur. And underneath that outer layer of fur, they trap a little pocket of air. And it's that pocket of air underneath the outer layer of fur that insulates them from the cold water that they swim in. They have to take very good care of their fur. And when they have problems with the water, such as when there's a big oil spill, it just spells disaster for an animal that relies on its fur for survival. And he's just anxious to show off that fur a little bit, aren't you? Why don't you stand up? Oh, yeah, you can applaud for him, folks. He's been a good boy. Very nice. Well, the last thing we're going to ask this little guy to do is probably the hardest, and that's leave stage, because he does have fun while he's out here. Kasut. That's going to wrap it up for Kasut, North American river otter.
Bringing out a domestic animal for you to meet next. Remember how earlier we said we like to get the animals close to you? This animal's coming right out into the audience to meet you. So what we need to do is ask that those of you who are seated in the stairs, go ahead and take a seat in the bleachers somewhere. That's where he's going to be walking. Thank you. And he weighs about 275 pounds, so he needs a lot of room. Second thing is, again, he's a domestic animal, so people seem to have the temptation to reach out and touch him. But we ask that you please don't unless Kelly specifically specifically asked you to do so. And the third thing is, he's going to be coming up to some of you and blowing in your faces. And what you should do when he blows in your face is to blow right back. Okay? It's basically his way of identifying who you are by the smell of your breath. Please look over to the door on your right-hand side. This is Poncho. Yes, look at him. Oh, applause everywhere. Yes. Poncho, again, is a domestic animal. Llamas are... Oh, thank you, folks. Yeah, we haven't been able to figure out who or why he chooses the people that he does. However, we do know one thing. If you have a straw hat, hang on to it. Right? Again, a domestic animal. Oh, good job. They are domesticated from guanacos. And alpacas are domesticated from vicuñas. And they are all in the same group of family. They're the same group of family, the same family, related to the camel. Ah, yes. And here they are used as pack animals because they have such an efficient digestive system. Llamas can digest, or can extract protein rather, from just about anything, do very well on it, as opposed to members of the equine family. Oh, look at that. Nice look. He loves that. You look at that in a video camera too. You get a nice close-up shot. Now, llamas are also considered to be sure-footed animals. And one of the reasons is because they're very adaptable. You'll notice as he's walking on the flat area that he's moving the legs on the same side of his body at the same time. That's called lateral gait, and it's just an adaptation for a different type of terrain. Believe it or not, it's the same way that bears walk. Now, that's going to change as the terrain does as well. As he's going up or down the stairs, you'll notice a change in the way Poncho walks. He also has split hooves. Underneath those hooves, there's a very soft, spongy pad, and that gives him a lot of added traction out there. Now, llamas get kind of a bad rap, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute here. Poncho has got split lips. Those of you who have seen him close up can attest to that fact. Those split lips are called prehensile lips. That means he can actually use those lips. Ooh, he's checking out somebody on the stairs up there. He can use those lips to grab onto something. They have muscular control over those lips. They also, with those lips, have the ability to spit accurately up to 15 feet. And that's why people tend to not feel very good about. And we like to dispel some of the myths here. Spitting is strictly a defense mechanism. Llamas do not go arbitrarily spitting at things, okay? What they will do is buck, dance around a little bit, but the last thing they'll do before they will spit, and I know this from personal experience, is lay their ears flat against their head. When they pace those ears back, look out. So as long as we keep his ears in that upright position, we're doing fine. Good job. Now this will be a new experiment. See if he rushes right down the stairs and he says, no way, Kelly. Okay, here he goes. Very good job. Again, unless Kelly asks you to do so, please don't reach out a lot. See if he's going to say hi to anybody else. He says, nope, I'm on a roll. I'm going down the stairs. All right, you guys did a great job. That is going to do it for Poncho, our llama. Now, Poncho's going to formally end our show today, but before you get up and leave, we'd like to leave you with something to think about. Now, Kelly mentioned about the destruction of the rainforest earlier on in the show. Just to bring that a little bit closer to home, during the 20 minutes it took us to put on this show for you, an area 10 times the size of the San Diego Zoo, about 1,000 acres, was destroyed out in tropical forest. That's how serious this problem is. There is hope, though. Something that all of us can do to help out is to recycle. Because for everything we choose to recycle as opposed to tossing out, that just means that's less of their habitat that needs to be destroyed. Folks, Kelly and I hope you had a good time here at the amphitheater. Have a good day at the zoo. But before you leave, one more announcement. We are going to be running a short training session with one of our animals who's brand new to the show. She's never been out here in a show. She is known as a bush dog, and her name is Mulberry. So if those of you who would like to stick around, feel free to do so. If anyone wants to leave, you can go ahead and do that too. It'll be about 2 or 3 minutes. Thanks a lot, everybody. Bye-bye. She was having a little bit of a problem with one of her behaviors, so we're going to run the training session with her first. That's one of the things we do here. Most of the animals are trained to do their specific parts in the show, and anytime they have a problem with something, we give them another opportunity to go ahead and see if they can correct the problem. Now, Ethel should come out of that hole, rush right over there to the rock, and go ahead and go up on the rope. There she goes. Don't do it, kid. That a girl. Keep going. Very good job all the way over, and hopefully she'll find a grape over there. That's a good girl. And hopefully she'll go on. Uh-oh, is there more? You're going to have to sniff around a little bit. That's okay. That's a girl, because that's all we wanted, was not to have her running around back here. Now the easy part, going across the road. Atta girl, kid. Good job. She just looks so intense up here. She's looking so hard at that rope. Okay, good girl. And that's going to do it. Good job. This really helps us out. What we do before an animal ever formally enters a show is to ask people to stay, and then they get used to the idea that there are going to be other people out here, but that it's really no big deal. It's kind of the same as a training session, which is why you'll see myself and Kelly be very casual out here. Now, again, this is a bush dog from South America. These animals are able to drag down prey much larger than themselves, and you'll know what I mean once you do see her and once she gets out here. Very interesting little animal. Makes a lot of neat vocalizations, which we're hoping again that she'll do when she's out here. That's what she does when she's very comfortable or she's not feeling threatened in any way. So anyways, anyone have any questions about anything you've seen so far? Because I'm just going to be hanging out here. Do we train mostly males or female what? Anything? Well, let me tell you, yeah, I just got married a month ago, and females, no. No, actually, it doesn't seem to matter one way or the other. And a little quick glimpse over there. And she is probably the sweetest animal you'll ever find, except she is a wild animal. We sometimes forget that. She's not a domestic by any means and could bite us at any moment, but she hasn't shown us that so far. In fact, she hasn't even shown us that she's a wild animal yet. And what you see in Kelly's hand is called a target, and Mulberry is trained to touch the tennis ball with her nose, and that basically just helps us guide her wherever we want her to go. You wouldn't believe how difficult it is just to get her from her back area out here on stage when you have to basically go on the relationship that you've built with the animal. She is the funniest little dog. Atta girl. And again, out in the wild, known to take down prey 10 times their size, deer, everything. It's amazing. She has a very unusual way of scent marking, not quite as pleasant as the Quadrumundi you saw out here. She'll actually turn it upside down and do a handstand and then mark whatever it is that she's marking. So hopefully we'll get that out here for all of your viewing pleasure. See that too. After all, we are trying to get natural things going out here. She also drags everything, just so you know a little bit about her personality. That's not what we're looking for, kiddo. She will, that's another way of scent marking, yes, Anna. Kelly's going to go ahead and try and call her back. Maybe give her another opportunity and give her a little pep talk back there and say, that's not what we do on stage, we do that backstage. Not everybody wants to see that. Again, in her back area, she will drag anything. When we basically clean her house in the morning, she gets free roam of the compound, and she'll find buckets, anything, drag it back into her pen, anything she wants to drag. She'll drag everything. Now she's doing a real good job. Again, she's trained much like the otter, taught to really pay attention to the trainer. Atta girl. Good job. And you'll hear Kelly give that little clicking sound again. That lets her know she's doing a really good job out here. Now this is something brand new. Bush dogs out in the wild are supposed to love the water. Look at this kid. I think I can do it. Now the pool is very shallow up here at the end, and then it gets gradually deeper. So it's really ideal for us to teach her how to actually get in the water and to be comfortable in it. Mulberry was formerly on exhibit, and since then she's been at Hunt Amphitheater for about, 9 months to a year. All of a sudden, I saw people out there. Not a girl. You can do it, kiddo. That's a girl. Now again, Kelly would not be able to bring her out here unless they had a very good relationship built. This again is 9 months worth of hard work and lots of patience, especially with an animal like this. And it's not like you can get, you can't get mad or upset or impatient with, you can get impatient, but I mean, how can you get angry with something that looks like that? It's the same thing with the otter. I mean, that's what, can you hear that?
Yes. Yes. What a dog.
That's a good girl. Oh, that's what she is doing. Just a great job out here. This is really, really good for her. It is, again, very important that she just pays attention. Again, not only because we like to not have problems out here, but also because if the animal is just watching you and paying attention, I mean, how much less stressful can it be? All I have to do is watch the trainer and they'll tell me what to do. That's easy as pie. Not a problem at all with that. And again, she's just eating little pieces of dog kibble like you feed your dog at home. Only this is it's a special kind.
You go over there and it echoes over there. Whoa, it's not the best view in the house, huh?
There's a bobcat way over there.
I see it. What?
Water coming out. Sea otters. The trees. New construction
Well,
site.
this would be interesting to look at on the radio. Look at this wall made out of these strands.
Got about an hour left.
You see the bird seed, the planted look.
Yeah.
Damn, I've seen the summer before. Yeah.
He's coming down. You see him over on the other side. Come on, go over there.
he's just building up.
We going, buddy?
Yeah.
Justin.
Oh, here
there's
comes
another
a little
one.
one. There's a little one coming up. There he comes. Oh. Yeah. What's he got? Dead body?
Hey, you want We have bananas in the car, baby.
Yeah, really. Don't brought him in.
How do you call a gorilla? Nagilla!
Where's Daddy?
Here he comes again.
The guy's coming down again? Yeah, there he is. Hey, he's massive.
I don't want the back one.
What a burn. Good, think about it.
Look at the bananas in the car.
There we go.
Come on, Kira. You better chill out, dude.
Commercial. What'd you say?
What?
What were you saying?
You can use the top instead of using the bottom of this thing. That way, if it's too much together, you don't move the eye thing.
Oh.
Use the top. Let's see. You might do
That was so fascinating.
Siberian. It's mine, right?
I didn't know the kids like it. Lisa said she did. Waiting for everybody. It's okay. We'll clean it like a rodent.
Draw your mouth up to finish, Lee.
It's outside.
Oh, you did it.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
The wind melts it.
There's a show at 2 o'clock, Peg. It's this way. A little bit of ways from here. Chit Chat show. 1:38 now.
This is so messy.
Oh, look, man, you can start going.
No, it ain't 9. Where's that? No, it ain't 9. She said $1.75.
Guys look like you're picking guavas.
There's a real pretty peacock in here. You want some, Jake?
You can have the rest. Hello. What peacock? Hello.
There you go, guys.
A white peacock. I never see that. What is it saying?
Napkins for your hands, your hands, your cold.
You should wash it.
Yes, I see it.
See, I did it 3 times.
Oh yeah.
Behind this.
It's behind this thing.
What are you doing?
Channel Islands, yeah.
Well, that's where it is. It said that it might be a true story, but it might not be.
Dolphins.
Island of the Blue Dolphins is the name of a book that he was reading in his class, and it takes place in the Channel Islands.
Very good, Luke. That was narrated by Luke Johnson on video here at San Diego Zoo. The date and time.
Hey, it's the Channel Islands.
It's 1:58, September 29, 1991. Animal Chit Chat Show.
people travel to Australia. You can see emus and kangaroos casually cruising all over the Australian outback. How about saying goodbye to our two ladies from down under? Say goodbye to Samantha. Emus and kangaroos are really unusual animals. They're definitely in Australia, really well adapted to the harsh environment that they find in the Australian outback. And as adults, they're relatively mild-mannered and easy to tame down. They have no natural predators, so to speak. As adults, they're capable of getting out of trouble by either running, jumping, or kicking. And they can clear 12-foot chain link fences from a standstill. They can sprint up to 35 miles an hour. And if they're cornered, they kick. One powerful kick is enough to keep a whole pack of wild dogs or dingoes at bay. Well, speaking of wild dogs, our next guest happens to belong to that family of animals. He is one of North America's most beautiful predatory animals, and he's also the wild version of man's best friend. So, how about a nice warm welcome for Nakona, our North American hero! Hey. That was one tremendously great entrance. Nakona is about 2.5 years old. You may not look to you exactly the kind of North American typical that you might see on the front cover of National Geographic. They come in all shapes and sizes, and this happens to be one of them. Of course, down here in sunny California, wolves don't grow a nice thick fur coat the same way they do up in the Arctic. In fact, we only have the fur coat for about 1 or 2 months out of the year. We don't need to rub it in. It's really nice up here in California, especially in sunny San Diego. In the cold country, we serve the wolves fairly well. They have a thick coat that gets down to 6 inches, and enables them to actually curl up on the snow and ice and tolerate temperatures well below freezing, like minus 40 degrees, with the wind howling at 100 miles an hour. The wolf at one time, a long, long time ago, like the sea actually, used to be found all over the world except on the tropical islands along the equator. Very adaptive animals, and of course they have spawned a lot of progeny in the form of domestic dogs. But now, we've eliminated them. People are not. It's just all the time, as the day
No, she just said he's young, 2 years old.
of habitat degradation. There aren't areas where they can exist because they don't really do as well where people are. Fortunately, however, there is a wolf recovery program, and we're hoping within the next year or so to be able to reintroduce some of these beautiful animals into a warmer area out here in the West, and that is our oldest and our largest national park, Yellowstone. A lot of controversy associated with the Yellowstone recovery program, but we're hoping at some point compromises may be met and these beautiful top-of-line predators will be allowed a little bit of an opportunity to establish that their delicate balance of nature in Yellowstone. Now, we're really fortunate to have had Nakona from a very young age of 2 months. He is an exceptionally good animal, a very stable personality, and as a result, we consider him to be one of our best friends. We have, however, had to maintain a little distance with him in order to be top dog, so to speak, and establish some control on stage especially. He has learned to do a lot of things on cue. One of them, of course, is to get away with trying to do anything. Real basic stuff. Dog obedience, using a positive reward system. Nakona has learned to sit and stay. And then to lie down. This is really tough for him. Holding that position for a couple of counts. It's called a down and a stay. 1, 2. Good boy, Nakona. All right. May not seem like a lot to you, especially those of you who may work dogs in obedience, but wolves aren't exactly the same as domestic dogs because they're not built for sitting still. They're built for running, and their body reflects it. They have the physique of a marathon runner, very long and lean. They have long legs, and they look at scratch from head to toe. Without the fur coat to really hide his body, you can really see that he's a very lean animal, and they have tremendous endurance on land and in the water. They've been known to put up to 100 miles of climbing in one day when they're dispersing climbing on new territory. And in fact, on one of the historical sites of wolves studied here in the United States, a place called Isle Royale.
Grandma says he's playing the ukulele.
They've been known to actually swim across 20 miles of water in order to populate that particular island. Tremendously good swimmers. Nakona has been known on occasion to get his feet wet in our moat. Not guaranteeing it today, but on some sunny days he will literally dive into the pool and show off his great dog paddle, wolf paddle, so to speak. Now, everyone's pretty familiar with the wolf nowadays. Fortunately, their image is a lot more positive, but it's always been one that people have known about. Wolves are pack animals. They live in social family units called wolf packs. They have an extremely intricate and very extensive
cover you up.
supposed to
I'm
be
trying to
quite
cover
a
you up.
silent type. Corky, however, has developed quite a voice of his own. He's coming to us through the bowl, and I hear him warming up. I think he'd like to say something. You ready to talk? Like he said.
That's Peggy saying, why didn't you wake me up?
Trainers discovered a long time ago that marine mammals are really good subjects for a positive food reward system, and the wild are considered continuous feeders. They spend a lot of time in the water foraging for fish. And when you happen to have the added advantage of being shaped like a mini torpedo, like Corky here, well, doing something like rolling over comes pretty easy. First of all, however, we're going to pop Corky in the water to grease his skin a little bit, get that body of his all nice and wet. So those rolls come out quicker. There you go. Now back out, slip and slide into the spot, no sticking. Good roll. And keep on going. You're on the roll now. And another one, and one to the road. Those hind covers of Corky's are pretty useful to him on dry land. They do provide him with his only means of propulsion when he's actually in the water. And with one swift kick of the little flippers back there, Corky can easily sail. Remember his jump. So let's pop him back in the cool pool. We're a lot more fluid. Let's show these folks what you're really good at. Oh, you want to Corky? Oh, yes. Now, up there and jump, Corky. Big torque, kiddo. Let's try that one again, okay? Concentrate, build up your speed. Give it all you've got. There's a little in it. Ready? All the way up. And
Give me the battery pack.
You blew it, kiddo. We're going to give you another shot at it. I'm also going to get you some help. I think some of your fans out there might be able to give you what you're looking for. Corky is a real ham. Applause goes wonders for him. What do you say? A nice little round of encouragement? Let's bring down over here your black husky again. Let's show these folks what your front flippers can do. Can you get over here and black husky? Wait, wait.
Fed him too much, he can't move.
About 13 years old, and about 6 years ago, he developed cataracts, the kind that people get. Unfortunately, his blindness came on him very, very slowly. He was able to rapidly switch over from visual cues to vocal cues, so he listens to us more than he can actually see us. He has always enjoyed doing shows, performing therapy, exercise, a chance to show off, and yes, shows are pretty good for a fish. So, we think he adapted to his handicap really, really well. What do you guys think? Cute little body one more time off the stage. Ready, set? Ready, set? Charge! Say goodbye to our chubby little friend. Three, we have in our show collection a little boy named Jamal. Jamal is a full-grown adult male green-footed leopard. And not too much is really known about the clouded because they're rather inaccessible parts of the world they're found in. Countries like Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, rather inaccessible places to most people, so we know very little about a day or a year in the life of a clouded. But we do know that they overlap with tigers and regular-sized leopards, so in order to avoid competition, clouded leopards are taken to the tree. They're very arboreal for their size, and now we're here at about 55 pounds. And their body basically reflects the lifestyle of a tree dweller. It's very long and lean, it's very low to the ground, reduces the center of gravity, and tremendous balance. They have very short, stocky legs. They're not really good at running. They're much better at leaping and jumping, and of course, climbing. Kind of a bulldog. You sort of look to the front of them with very, very deep chests. Huge feet that have the capacity to enlarge by up to 100%. Better to grab on the tree limbs with. Huge, nice long tail. Also, with an added feature, the clouded leopard has the longest tail in comparison to the body length of all of the cats. Makes up to 50% of the total length of the cat. And they use it as a balancing aid the same way that a tightrope walker would utilize a pole in a circus. Now, the broad chest, in collaboration with the feet, also come in real handy as built they're very acrobatic cats as well. When they walk streamlets, they can also walk them upside down, almost like a monkey. They can swing by one back foot, allowing the other three paws free to swat birds out of the air from breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Very acrobatic, and we've seen that behavior with the 1-month-old pups. They are very early developers, and they seem to truly enjoy leaping and jumping around in the trees. And we're really fortunate to not just have one college in our show collection, we actually have 3 that constitute a breeding trio. And I'd like to introduce our second male and female rival. Dramatic making his way around the curtain at the back of the stage is Dramatic Kahan. Showing you his 2.5-inch long canine as well. Beautiful spot pattern on the side, that's really nice, Kahan. What he's doing right now is he's basically set marking the curtain. This is something that your tomcats will do in order to establish territory along the prominent ways on the pathways that they go by every day. Both of these males do it, and every time they go by, they do it again. They're unrelated. Their names together are Malabapani tree tiger in their Southeast Asian dialect. They're also known as the mist leopard, and of course they are an endangered species. Habitat destruction, incapacity to change if their environment changes. Many of the wild bird numbers are limited to about 2,000 in Southeast Asia. Really important for our captive collection to maintain genetic diversity, which is why we're so very proud and thrilled to have 3 breeding cats in our show collection. Now they're real specialized predators as well. They have a rather unique way of going after other animals, a little different from most cats that stalk from the ground. These guys are ambushers in a very different sort of way. We're going to have Kahan demonstrate utilizing our series of platforms. Now, once in a while, they're pretty slow and pokey when they start. They work their way to tree canopy tops, 30 to 40 feet up. They sit quietly waiting for some more unsuspecting prey to meander on down below. And then when their prey least expects it, they literally fling themselves into the air onto their prey's back. Kahan has got this great Rocky the Flying Squirrel routine. We're hopefully going to get him to demonstrate utilizing our box. We're going to ask him to jump down about 10 to 12 feet, and while they do about 30 feet, this is a real easy jump, Kahan. You can do it. We're just barely thinking about it. There we go. We're going to use our tail as a brace, so notice that he places it up against the back of the rock, and he'll bob his head for judging depth perception. He'll also check out to see how many pieces are on the box, and he'll want it up if it's not up to 3. Here we go. Definitely would get your attention because they're very specialized maneuver. They're capable of bringing down substantially larger animals in the form of wild-born pigs. It could weigh up to 250, perhaps 300 pounds. Now, the third class we have in our show collection is a little female named Asia, and we'll be bringing her out after our show is over today for you to see. Generally, cotters, as I mentioned earlier, aren't seen in captivity. Not only are their numbers very limited in captivity, but they're very shy, they don't make good exhibit animals, and they're also very aggressive towards their own kind, unless you introduce them as youngsters. This kind of duplicates the natural phenomena, because in the wild, the cotters are monogamous. They pair bonded at a very young age, and they stay together throughout the lifetime of the pair. So what we did was we acquired 3 babies. These 2 boys and little Asian, we raised them together in the same enclosure, allowed us the opportunity
Barely skimmed it.
You ready to go, Luke?
Come on, then show something else.
You ready to go, Grandma?
When I get this job.
Wee.
Oh, that's good. Get Luke and Grandma.
I'll give you the camera to shoot them.
Don't drop the camera. Uh-oh. No, I hate those things. Watch out, Lee. Your hands in. Uh-oh.
Watch your hats.
Wait, take your hat off and put it down. Oh, yeah, beautiful. Oh, wow. I think. Ooh, look at the airplane. I wish I had Hey, there's that church bell we've been hearing. Yeah, that church is tall. Uh-oh. I wish I had my binoculars out, but I don't want to lose them.
No, just be cool.
Yeah, I know. Oh, a tropical thing.
Peg, why don't you shoot some of them behind us?
Don't walk the car, you guys.
Uh-oh, watch out.
I wonder how Luke. Oh, there they
Those
are.
are good.
That's pretty cool. Father's looking down like, that's pretty, beautiful. Look at that. That's pretty cool how they have the thing down right there.
You got them, Peg?
Another one's coming up
Yeah.
pretty far away. It doesn't matter. It doesn't shake it a lot. You look down. It's pretty cool, man.
It's nice and
It
cool.
doesn't make
Yeah.
any noise. Yeah, you get so scared at the beginning because you're not used to it. But now I can look straight down. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let go of this pole either.
Swampy you are? Is it raining? No. It's just the way it is because it's so much. We're going fast. It's just what's so high.
You do a close-up of them, did you, Peg?
Yeah.
We're at the high point. We're halfway. See, they have the speakers to talk to you. If something breaks, and say, "Don't worry, you're just gonna sit there for a second. We're fixing something. Don't worry about it." There's San Diego City there. There's Balboa Park. Some of it right there, Lee.
Is that another thing?
Did you get Balboa Park, the dome over there, Peg? That's the Old Globe Theater. Old Globe Theater.
Oh, that's the one we went in.
All around.
Theater.
Watch out, Lee. Mom's right by you.
Drop that thing. Oh, God.
Place number 9.
There's the bridge. The Cabrillo Bridge.
I bet
We
you
have a
not.
picture of in the reader. Remember the picture story of the bridge? That's it over there. It's just a dirt road below it. Now it's Freeway 163.
I bet you number 9. Oh, there's number 9 right behind us.
Is that Mommy and Luke? And Papa, number 9?
Yeah. No, they're 28. 9 tonight.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted 9. Well, be very careful.
Uh-oh, bump again.
Yeah, we're almost done.
Plus, we're going to go
Don't
down.
destroy-
One way only. You must exit before return trip. Warning, do not rock car. Don't rock the car now. I want to hear some Jones.
Scared,
Are you ready? On the roll down.
Yahoo, we're going to come to that bumpy one. Lee.
Coming down for a landing now, folks.
Oh, that's bumpy. So I thought it was
Skyfari.
See, everyone's all scared when they're going up there. It's pretty cool.
I want to go on that bumpy thing again. Uh-oh.
Keep it, when you get off, we'll take a picture of them coming in here. Got them? Are you recording? Closer. The mommy's right there. You step up on the curb here. See a mommy? Step up on the curb. There you go. So clean looking, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You should say this stuff.
This is a harpy eagle.
So you can see what the tram looks like that we rode.
Each one of these trees costs about $250. One is small, big palm.
What is this up so high though? This is high, this is up high.
You know that tall palm tree, Jack, that you had a neighbor on
Yeah.
It's this, like, this big, we can say like this much over the
They cut it in front of his house, they cut it down, I watched it.
Oh.
There was a whole bunch of bugs on it.
Where's everybody? There's an eagle out. On that owl, there's an eagle out.
Marshall Eagle.
No, 4. Well, I don't know. The brochure said 4 o'clock. They don't show any more tickets. It's 6.
Spread those wings.
How do you call an eagle?
Hey, eagle.
Yoo-hoo.
Sam.
Oh, here.
Take a picture of him when you're on the...
There's one over there, too. So there's one over there, too. I tried to just do it and stop. I'm going to move it. It's still at the same spot it was.
Yellow leaf.
Trees, little birds, and they're fine.
How big this bamboo is, huh?
I was going to put my initial on it.
lot of these.
Hey.
It's backlight. No, the backlight's off.
Wait, you guys.
Go ahead.
Now you better come up camera. It has what she told her to do. And you keep it in your hand, and it has a chain so that Luke won't run away from you.
Yeah, so we need a choke collar.
Because he always runs away. And you need an extra strong one too.
Watch out for the tigers. Don't step on any.
They don't have the mist here.
Yeah, I can't afford the water.
No, they probably have it on.
Maybe we missed it.
Good crowded.
Alligators. Mosquitoes, I mean. Gato, Viku, whatever. I know, there's one right there. And the taste
Take a picture, man.
Thanks.
He's smiling for you.
Lovely. Give him a dental checkup with that shot.
Look at his eyes. Andy. Billy, the man. Penelope. No, it's where's Lauren? Lauren with him.
Me. Thought that was my breath. What's this called, Peg? Do you know?
Mouse deer.
Looks like your hand's petting it. What to make a flute with? Get over there, Peg, with the kids. Let's make a good little shot here. Where's Luke? Anywhere in sight? There we go. Grandma and Pop up around?
Yeah, one right there. Right there.
One right there. Come on, Grandma. Get in the picture. And pop up. There. Close in more. If you want to get in, there you go. What a shot. What a... You see any other tigers, Lee?
Where in the world are they? Oh, there, I want to see cubs. Megan, use it to see the baby cubs. Oh, yeah. Megan, you can see them really close. Oh, yeah, I know that.
I'm trying to keep still.
There's another. Where? Come here. Tiger. Okay, Santa, it's way over there.
You guys are making them hungry.
Kathleen, come over here, please. Come on, watch the tigers and let's go.
It's okay,
You guys share each side of the glass. Oh, let's not push, okay? Kath, let's go. Come on, Kathleen. Let's go. It's some time for someone else to come see. Let's go. You're not even watching the tiger. Now let's go.
Well, I said you.
Oh, here comes.
I need the roll for this mother.
Now, look at that.
Now I need. Give me the roll of film. Hurry, mother.
It's going down the water.
No, it's up. You're right.
Yeah, Mommy's gonna
Mother, I can't.
Oh, good video. Come down to get to go that way, that way, that way, that way. And then
What do you want me to do?
that way.
Tu le vois devant, regarde là, il monte là.
How about one keep something in it?
Tu le vois?
I'm right in here.
Oh, he's gonna make it.
Now they're going back up to here.
Well, I'll make it this one.
That one's gonna go for that one, and that one's gonna go for that one. That one's gonna go up to that one, and that one's gonna go up to that one. And that one's gonna go to that one.
Jennifer, stop. I'm trying to take a picture.
Can't get any closer than that.
Use your binoculars.
Yeah.
Got teeth too, doesn't it?
Yeah. Look how big his feet are.
He's got to go into those paws.
Look straight into the back.
Megan, you see him? Yeah. Then tell him.
Go back.
Look at him looking at you and he's like, whoa. Whoa, he looks big. To me, because I'm going to have to whoa. Hey, Megan, what's the matter? It's real big. Take a good look at his tail. Okay. I mean, with your binoculars on. Ooh. Really cute. Whoa. Oh, look, you can see his. You can see his, like. You can see his, like, whiskers. Let's see what he's gonna do. Drink. Drink. Why would he do that? Drink right over this.
No.
Look, there's another one up there. Mom, there's one way up there.
There's two up there.
Yeah! Actually, 3. 4 tigers are all in this place. What? Oh, look, I can see him. One's going back. Now he's coming back. Mom! Whoa! Mom, there's... Wait. Oh! Whoa! Look, he doesn't even try to eat. Because he can't. Well, maybe he doesn't know that. Whoa! Megan, whoa, whoa. Back. Megan, look. Look at this. He's real big and close. Whoa! Looks like he's out to hunt. Oh, baby tiger. Well, get his
Hiding in the grass.
They are close. Let me check if there's any over there. Nope. Okay, see Megan. There's that one, and then I'm going to look at the other one, and go back up. I can't see the other areas. There's one way up there if you can see them. Can you see
Good afternoon, sisters.
Good afternoon.
See, they sleep during the day, Lisa, and at night they come out. He's asleep. He's asleep right inside his refrigerator. That's all the food he eats. Oh, he's getting that a little bit. Move this way a little bit, then, so I can get you in there with him a little bit. That's good. Turn around, Lisa. Hi there. You look at him, you think about the San Diego Zoo, don't you? You see any other koalas around here, Lisa?
What's over here? Lucas, he came up.
It's like a kangaroo, huh?
No.
Yeah, I think it's a It's a type of kangaroo. Where else?
It is a kangaroo.
So you know where
Very pretty.
Come here, honey.
Good apples.
They're sitting down right there.
At nighttime they'd be roaming around, you know?
Sitting down right
Daytime they sleep.
there. One of them was born March 25th, almost your birthday.
Mild-mannered. Grandma and Pop-Up stay put?
They're sitting down right there.
Yeah. They could have just stayed there at the entrance for a few minutes.
Come right in here in this hall here. You can see it. You see the thing? And what is it?
Okay. Bye-bye, Peggy.